Good morning, YouTube. In a tug-of-war, who would win? This power brick or this tiny circuit board? Okay, I think the brick would win for sheer weight, but I'll put my money on this tiny module and I'll show you why later in this video. Let's first take a closer look at the under cabinet lighting in my kitchen. These under cabinet lights were purchased in March 2011 from superbrightleds.com. They are the LBFA Luxbar series. I'll put a link in the video description. I used the warm white 3000 Kelvin version. They're rated at about 3.5 watts and 220 lumens per foot, or about 25 watts and 1500 lumens for the 7 feet that I have installed here. I have a 4 foot and then a 3 foot section there, and then there's a 1 foot section along the back cabinet. 4 and 3 foot sections joined together with a little connector, and then I have a right angle jumper at the end to go around the corner to the 1 foot strip. The LED modules are quite well constructed. They sit in a heavy aluminum channel and have a clear plastic lens over the top. I've never felt any warmth on the metal even after hours of running. The channel snaps into clips that you attach to the underside of the cabinet. This is the touch control dimmer. You tap it to turn the lights on, tap it to turn the lights off. And if you tap and hold, the brightness goes up and then down. It'll go pretty much all the way off and cycle through, and then if you release, that's the new setting, and that brightness is used the next time you turn the lights on. So you can see some flicker in the video camera at certain dimmer settings, but I don't see anything visible to the eye. So for the first 2.5 years, I ran these lights on AC power with this 24 volt 2 amp power brick. And I checked the power consumption, and at full brightness, the supply used about 36 watts of power. At my normal dim setting, it used about 19 watts, and with the LEDs off, it used about 6 watts of power. Considering I was using these lights instead of running 300 watts of low voltage halogen track lighting, this was a huge improvement. However, when I started checking, I found that the dimmed LEDs were only using about 6 watts of DC power. So this supply was less than 33% efficient. In order to maintain the dimmer setting, it needed to be powered all the time since the dimmer had no maintained memory. So these energy efficient LED lights were actually a vampire load. Even if not used, this would consume over 50 kilowatt hours per year of energy. If I added up 10 hours of on time and 14 hours of off time per day over a year, that amounts to over 100 kilowatt hours of energy consumption. That's when I thought I should try a small DC to DC boost converter and see how that worked. So I'm using one of these to replace this power hog that used to stick up under the cabinets. With this unit, I find it takes about half an amp at 13 volts to supply 6 watts of power for the LEDs. And most importantly, when the lights are off, this converter uses less than 10 milliamps of current. And if you look at the cost, about $40 for this brick and about $5 for this module, I think this small DC boost converter wins the tug-of-war in terms of cost of ownership. At the time, I was doing some work up in my attic just above the kitchen here, and suddenly the light bulb went on in my head. Why not pull a wire over from my solar battery bank and hook it up to this DC boost converter and use that to power the lights? That wire is shown in the first video in this series. Check it out here for more details. That was over 2 years ago, and it's been working flawlessly since then. So I estimate these lights have had 15,000 hours of on time so far, and not a single LED has gone dim. That's really impressive. Some of this may be due to my running them at about 25% intensity since they are so bright. My only complaints with the lights are the following. First, they are expensive, around $20 per foot, but considering the quality, they seem to be worth the cost. Second, the wiring connections here are finicky to install, but once you get them clipped in properly, they do work well if not disturbed. Thirdly, it would be nice if this dimmer had a non-volatile memory for the intensity setting. That way it could be put behind a power switch to turn it off fully. However, with the extremely low idle current of the DC boost converter, this is a non-issue for me now. So all in all, I'm extremely pleased with these LEDs. They provide excellent light, they work well, and they seem to have a long service life. In the next video, I'll try to capture the color rendition of the under cabinet and overhead lighting in my kitchen and see how they perform. Questions welcome in the comment section below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Check out my channel for other LED lighting, solar power, and vampire load videos. And as always, thanks for watching.